Today we're going to put in some more slate posts to provide support for the vines. We're restoring our ancient vine trellises in order to increase the yield and production of grapes.
It originally had lots and lots of terraces, still does. It's really time to make that beauty come alive again. We've spent a year rescuing them from the brambles and the overgrowth.
I'm going to get on with putting a slate post in for the end of this row. This is probably the longest row we have.
Do you know where my secateurs are?
No.
This is an oak, a vine, and a hidden slate post. So my plan is to trim this back and see where it is, then make it visible so that Dan can put the wires on for the post.
I've been digging a hole, trying to get it about ½ a metre deep to support this new slate post, which is exactly 2.5 metres. Right, so I'm going to try the post in the hole now. I'm going to try and get this a bit deeper.
So I'm freeing up this vine. So I've cut that at an angle so that any rain, of course there won't be any rain, any rain will fall off it. It prevents it from getting fungal diseases.
Right. Need some more stones to fill up around the post. Right, we're straight enough now, so I'm going to keep putting a few more stones in and then fill it with earth, and we'll water it in just to get the earth compacted around the post and good and stable.
Right, you can see now that there are 2 main stems, and I really can't decide whether to take one out and which one to take out or leave them both in.
How are you getting on with these oak trees?
Scared the living daylight out of me. Well, you have a look here. Up down to 2 main trunks. I was telling everybody about the decisions I'm trying to make, and if I want to leave one in or leave both.
I'm thinking, I don't know.
Or which one to leave in.
Yeah, which one?
I've got a lot of trimming to do on this one because there's a lot of crossed over branches that are causing chafe. So I'm worried that one might not be as strong as it looks for now. But at the same time, this one seems to be growing a bit straighter, but we can raise that canopy significantly. Very.
Let's keep the big one and raise the canopy of it.
So we decided to keep the one nearest the post. Right, let's do it.
Canopy of it.
Right, I think that's enough cutting. Really shouldn't take any more than 1/3 of the tree away, but you know, as they say in Portugal, mais ou menos.
We moved the position because that just really was not deep enough. And I was hitting some big stones, probably part of the wall. But here I'm getting down in between a few stones, and I think I'm going to have a nice hole to support that post. So last week we went to the stone shop to buy some of these slate posts, and they're offcuts from big slabs. Alright, I think that is as deep as I'm going to get. So we're going to pop the slate post in and wedge it in with some stones. And then put the mud back on it. Okay, you can hold it. Tip it towards the wall.
We met the owner in the yard and we asked him if he had these posts. However, we didn't really know what they were called in Portuguese, so I took a photograph of one we already had and showed it to him, and he said, no. And I said, but I already saw these, which I had. Driving past, sometimes I had seen 1 or 2 sitting around. And then he said, oh yes, but they're very expensive. So it turned out that he did have them, but they were expensive. But we had already decided that whatever the price, we were going to buy them because we only needed 2, and it just would be lovely because we've got a huge stretch of these terraces to cover, and only needing 2, we didn't really mind. And then we saw this one, which I'll show you later, but it's a little bit damaged at the top and runs into a point, and it's 2.5 meters long. So we said, what about this one? I said, more or less what it would be. And he said, €5. Coffee.
And now we're going to put the wire on. Off we go. Putting the tensioner on the slate post and twisting the wire together. This one a little bit long. Next step is to go and get the wire, pass it through the hole, and we'll tighten her up. Just need a slight bend on the end of the wire. so that we can get past there. There we go. I'll pull it as tight as I can by hand. We can round it up. Put some tension on it. First we need the excess wire. Click, I reckon. There. Bit of tension on that. Right, that's good. On to the next one. Hold on, I need to go to the other side of this post.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Need to flip again.
So Meraid is paying off each coil on the wire and I'm holding the tension on it. It's so hot that you've got to wear gloves to hold the wire. So I'm using a thinner gauge wire here to wire the main wire that's under tension to all the intermediate posts. So I'm going to go take a turn around the post and then wrap this around the main wire. And that should be good enough to hold it.
This is the start of the 47-metre trellis that we restored over the last few weeks. This terrace still needs to be restored, but we're not in a rush. Well, this was the only vine that produced red grapes last year. It was lying over the terraced wall, but now that we've restored the trellis, we're not sure what variety it is, but I think it's Touriga Nacional. I have a leaf, which is a known Touriga Nacional. I know because I just planted it. It's a little baby one. It looks the same shape. Here's one. Almost. It looks like the same leaf serration and it looks pretty similar in shape, and they both feel a little bit furry. I don't know how to identify these, so if you can help, please put something in the comments. That would be really, really helpful, and it would be nice to know we had what variety our old grapes are.
I mean, Meraid's just restoring the vine trellises for the beauty. I want to make some wine.
Well, I want to drink some wine.
This Quinta clearly produced a significant amount of wine in the past. There are 2 adegas where they made the wine. The adega is the Portuguese word for the room where the wine was made.
Well, here we are in the Adega. We know that they made wine here in the past. How good it was, that's a mystery.
We've got barrels sat in the Adega.
One of them even has some wine in it, if we dare.
I'm not sure if it's wine. It's got liquid in it, should we say. I'm going to go and get a bottle of this Quinta's wine. We have this massive box that was full of bottles of wine. Now let's go and see if this wine is any good. So we're in one of the wine storage rooms, and this box here is full of bottles of wine. Let's have a look and see what we've got inside. Right. Oh, that's a nice looking label. Vinho de Porto, Branco Especial. So, I'm guessing originally that was a white port inside there. Certainly not white any longer. I'm guessing they refilled the bottles. Garrafeira, Reservo de Condado. Oh, Colheita 1980. So this was harvested, the grapes were harvested in 1980. So we know that sometime after that, they obviously drank this bottle of Garrafeira and put their own wine into it. A reserva of some sort. Let's take this bottle and try it. See if the wine that they made here is drinkable.
Oh no!
So, this is a bottle out of the fabled wine chest. I don't think it's what it says on the bottle, but
It's not.
I'm assuming they reused old bottles and didn't bother taking the labels off.
What's it say?
It says it's a Quinta de
Aveleda.
Aveleda and a Vino Verde.
Vinho Verde Branco Seco. So it
it's
should be a white,
Definitely not
fizzy,
white.
lightly
Let's see if we
effervescent
can get
wine.
the
I
cork
already
out.
know that it's not. I can see it's almost black. No, you push it in because it's just vinegar. They're all vinegar.
You're not supposed to say that.
But I've already tried some.
So, this might be a good vintage.
Oh!
Ooh, It smells quite good actually.
I don't think that's wine. I think that's a fortified wine or like a
Maybe.
sherry
Well.
or something. I'm smelling my glass. I'm way ahead.
I think
of
I'm
the
going
game.
to clean the dirt out the top of this first.
I think we got some alcohol. Oh jeez, you're pushing more dirt in.
Right.
Oh no, it's got stuff.
Oh, let's see what it looks like when we pour it out, shall we?
Oh,
It looks like a rosé. It's a bit cloudy, a bit sediment. Oh. Right, how's the nose on it? Smells quite strong. Not for you.
I'm a bit dubious.
Well, it's not completely vinegar.
What is it?
It's not fortified wine, it is wine.
It's just horrible.
No, it's not horrible.
Why did you choke?
Do you want cinematic effects? Let you try it.
It's disgusting. Don't drink that. That's horrible, Dan. That's for killing weeds.
Yeah. It's not very nice.
No.
Looks kind of